Join us right now on the Mattress Warehouse Hotline, famed attorney Gloria Allred, who's representing one of the former cheerleaders for the Washington football team, Brittany Abel. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Allred.
Thank you for inviting me. By the way, I represent 3 and I believe today 4 former cheerleaders who were involved in this terrible cheerleading scandal for the Washington Redskins.
Yep. A lot of what Brittany and I'm assuming the other cheerleaders are specifically upset about is this video, which purportedly is kind of a behind-the-scenes video with some nudity. Do you have the video?
I don't have the video. I'm getting this all from the Washington Post, and also my clients are very, very upset about this. I mean, these were vulnerable, beautiful, talented young women, and they never gave their authorization or consent to have their intimate parts filmed for anybody to see.
Right. Yeah. There's no question about that. How do you go about getting the video? Like, do you issue like try to get a subpoena, or would like Washington Post give you a copy? How does that work to try to get that?
The only way that we can get it is, you're correct, if the Washington Post gave us a copy, and I don't think they're giving anybody copies. But in addition, if we filed a lawsuit, then they would have to turn over a copy. But also voluntarily, in the event that any employee from the Washington Post or owner or anyone else who may have it, if they have it, they could voluntarily provide it to us.
Right. So are all of the women that you're representing with this particular, with Dan and everything, are they all about the calendar and that sort of thing and the shoot? Like, I don't know what year it was, 2008, maybe there was another one in 2010?
2010.
Are there other grievances that they have?
Well, right now what they're focused on is this shoot, this swimsuit calendar, which they were very excited to be part of and to be selected for. It was an honor to be chosen. Not everybody was going to be in it.
Right.
And this is shocking some years later, and it is just revolting and upsetting to them to think that, if it's true, that anybody was sitting there, looking at their private parts, whether it's their nipples or their genital area or any other area, and somehow, enjoying it, looking at it for the, being lascivious and who knows, perhaps for their own sexual arousal, if in fact this happened. It's just revolting. The idea that it's reported that, supposedly somebody wanted to call to see, quote, the good bits or the good parts, which is what the Washington Post article says, that someone called these parts of the women. It's really revolting and upsetting to them, especially all these years later, to now just learn of it. They don't know how many people may have viewed this, if anybody did, what happened when they viewed it, why they viewed it, how they came into possession of it. It's just really, can you imagine if it were your daughter, how upset she would be?
No.
Talking to famed attorney Gloria Allred, who represents Brittany Abel and 3 other cheerleaders as part of this scandal. I don't know how much you're aware of kind of what, this was reported about years ago, that not only was there, the tape part is the video, but there were reports of the trip to the Dominican Republic and supposedly top sponsors of the team kind of being brought around to peek in on what was happening behind the scenes. How much are you aware of that?
Right, to peek in, reportedly as they were undergoing this calendar shoot on the beach, Beach Beauties is what it was called. The idea that women are just being treated literally as sexual objects is, and the others could view almost kind of like a peeping Tom type of situation, is just very disturbing. That somehow they're not there, obviously, these guys, to see a football game. They're there to, for their own sexual gratification. They're paying more for this. These women are also athletes. They're not just sitting there to be for somebody's sexual pleasure. And for many of them, for many years, they wanted to be a Washington cheerleader. I have one client who, from the time she was 8 years old, she dreamed of being a Washington Redskins cheerleader. And what a terrible memory now to attach to what otherwise, for some of them, was a very positive memory of being selected for the team and cheering for the team.
Miss Allred, are there different hurdles for you legally dealing with a private enterprise like the Washington football team as opposed to if these women work for a public company?
Well, we are the leading and most successful women's rights law firm in the nation. I've been doing this for 44 years. We've won hundreds of millions of dollars for victims. These women are victims. And we're going to do whatever we think is legally appropriate to vindicate our clients' rights. They're very brave. Some of them in the future will be speaking out if they think it's appropriate to do so. And, these are empowered young women, and they're just not going to sit there and be humiliated and degraded in this way. So, we know what we have to do, and we're going to fight to do it because this has to be, they have to be vindicated, all this. First of all, we have to find out what really happened. Secondly, we have to find out who's responsible. Third, these women have been harmed, and we believe we can prove it. And fourth, the best way is to hold whoever's responsible accountable in whatever manner is appropriate, and that's what we're going to do. Accountability is what it's all about. This is the era of the Me Too movement, and these women are just not going to sit back and just be victims. They're going to be fighters for change. They don't want this to happen to any other young woman ever.
Right. What about non-disclosure agreements that we keep hearing that a bunch of former employees are forced to sign? Do any of your clients have those, and how much do those hold up?
You mean NDAs from the Washington Redskins?
Yes.
Well, all I can say is this is a public story at this point, and all I can, if the Washington Redskins, want to try to silence these young women, then the Washington Redskins and I are going to have a conversation, because they should not have to be silenced about discrimination or harassment or invasion of privacy, if in fact that's what what occurred, because this is not what they signed up for.
So now, it sounds like, Miss Allred, you're in the kind of the fact-finding portion of your job.
Yes, we are.
Do you think it'll be difficult to tie this to the owner?
Well, again, I don't, I don't want to just go by a Washington Post article, as good as it is, and it seems very, very well researched. We want to hear the other side. We want to hear from, Mr. Snyder. We want to hear from any other executives of the team. We want to hear from other employees who might have information about how this could have occurred, if it did occur, who viewed it. We have to judge credibility. We have to look for corroboration. So, we do have fact-finding to do, and then that's important because, we want the truth. These young women are entitled to the truth, and we intend to get it.
Ms. Allred, we really appreciate the time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Appreciate it.